Welcome to a special bonus episode of 10 with Ken. I'm Ken Steele. In September, we went on location to the 2017 Ontario University's Fair to speak with presidents and senior administrators about innovation in higher education. We're at the Lakehead University booth speaking with Brian Stevenson, the President and Vice-Chancellor. Brian, thank you for taking a little time with us this afternoon at the U.
Thank you very much, Ken. Like every year, it's just a pleasure to see you here.
The first question I want to ask you today, Brian, is what innovations at Lakehead are you particularly proud of and do you think could serve as examples for other institutions?
Well, I think we'll start with student-centered innovations. We will be opening soon a one-stop shop for students. It's a shift from having students go from place to place once they're admitted to register their courses, to do their housing, to do their student loans. We have centralized all of that into Student Central. So the students now go to one place. They can do it by email, they can do it on the phone, or they can do it in person, and they get all the basic services from one person. Our main goal is to make it as easy for students when they arrive on campus as possible, so the students can focus on their academic work. Lakehead University has been a leader in Indigenous higher education and student services for decades. We were the first university in Canada to name Vice-Provost Aboriginal initiatives. And we have right now a very far-reaching Indigenous Student Services office. We're the first university in Canada as well to make a mandatory course for all students on Indigenous issues. And we're the first university in Canada to name a Truth and Reconciliation chair. And it's not a research chair, it's an advocacy chair. It's a person dedicated to bringing our communities together with the university and respond to the 94 calls for action of the Truth and Reconciliation report. In northwestern Ontario, between 13 and 15% of the population are Indigenous. It's about 50% of Indigenous students don't graduate from high school. So we have a program called the Achievement Program that reaches out to kids starting in the 4th grade. It involves them in programs every year on the campus, and we put money aside for a scholarship for them. We are the first university in Canada to bring together immersive telepresence between two of our campuses, in our Orillia campus and one in our Thunder Bay campus. Just think of it as video conferencing on steroids. It's life-size figures, eye contact, perfect sound, and a totally immersive experience so that you don't know that you're talking to somebody 1,500 kilometers away. And now we have students taking courses, professors co-teaching courses, and these classrooms are full all day long, 5 days a week, and they've been very successful. The other part that I think is important for students is our partnerships with colleges. We have a long-standing partnership with Confederation College in Thunder Bay, but we have been working very hard to develop a partnership with Georgian College so that we have programs that are seamless between college and university. This fall we're starting a new electrical engineering program that's done with Georgian, and we're doing an environmental studies program with them. So you have the best of both worlds, practical experience and academic credentials in your field.
So Brian, as you look ahead to the next 5 or 10 years, what do you think are some of the major innovations you anticipate will become more mainstream across the country that will help to shape higher ed going forward?
I think for us the important thing is to make the transition from distance education to remote education. Northwestern Ontario is about the size of France, with about 350,000 people. We have all of these dispersed smaller communities, and then we have a lot of northern First Nations communities. We have to take education to them, but we have to take it to them in a meaningful way. Our goal will be to develop our immersive telepresence partnership so that we can have first-year university in your own community. So if you can imagine being in Kenora or Marathon or Wasaya Beach and be able to do most, if not all, of your first-year courses in your own community, a short distance away from work, you don't have to worry about weather, you don't have to worry about traveling. You know, you eventually have to go and do the rest of your degree on a campus, but at least you get a head start. Experiential learning is also a very important topic that will be emerging over the next few years. It's incumbent on universities to be able to supply the opportunities for the students to have everything from full-fledged co-op programs to short-term experiential learning opportunities. So the students get outside of the classroom, get outside of the university, and experience their discipline or their interests. So having an opportunity to practice what you're learning in the workforce in the real world is very important. I think one of the things we're beginning to realize is that the next generations of students coming our way from high school are very technology savvy, and they're learning in different ways than I did when I was a student. And the question is, do we adapt to their ways of learning, and do we enhance their skills by teaching them through their own experiences? How can we incorporate better technology into our learning? But also, how do we ground ourselves in other traditional and well-served pedagogical strategies, everything from the Socratic method to the classroom setting. So understanding where they're coming from and being able to adapt to that while still maintaining pedagogies that are tried and true is going to be one of the secrets. In order to do that, we have to have really strong teaching and learning centers. So at Lakehead University, we're opening up a teaching and learning commons where students and faculty are constantly learning how to learn and how to teach, because that's going to be a moving target. It's going to be constantly evolving. The next important thing, I think, for us and I think for universities is how do we promote entrepreneurship? I think we all know statistically that the majority of the jobs in Canada are created by small and medium enterprises, and they're created by entrepreneurs. The thinking has been that entrepreneurs are going to study in business schools, and many of them are. But you have a whole gamut of students that have an entrepreneurship opportunity but are studying other topics. Somebody in outdoor recreation, somebody in education that might want to develop a company, somebody that, for example, is in environmental studies and they want to become an environmental entrepreneur, develop green industries. So what we're trying to do at Lakehead is develop an opportunity through a program that we call the Entrepreneurship Certificate Program, where students that are already doing 1 or 2 majors can take 6 or 7 courses on basic business. And on top of that, we've set up an entrepreneurship center where our alumni can come and get support from experts on how to set up a business, how to nurture them, and how to develop them. Internationalization is critical for universities around the world. It's not just about recruiting students, though. I think a lot of people think that it's about creating revenue streams through internationalization. I don't think that is going to be sustainable. Going global is about exposing our students in Ontario to the world, getting them to learn other languages, getting them to see other countries, getting them to understand what the global opportunities are. And it's about developing collaborative research opportunities with the development of very strong research clusters around the world. It's also about global citizenship, is how do you get your students to go out in the world and help support important causes and help communities that are in the need of their expertise or their help.
So Brian, what do you believe university leaders can do to nurture a culture of innovation on campus?
Well, my experience is that universities are hotbeds of innovation. First of all, universities are unique because we're not only disseminators of knowledge, we're creators of knowledge. And in order to create knowledge, you have to do research, and that research has to be innovative. If you're stale and static, you're going to lose students. So universities are very motivated to be innovative. A leader then has to go into the university campus to find out where the trends are emerging. Some things might come out from the leader's perspective, but the ones that are going to be more sustainable are the ones that are coming from the faculty, staff, and students. What my mantra is as a university president: consult, consult, consult. Listen, listen, listen. Learn from the students, learn from the faculty, learn from the staff who are at the front edge of all of these changes and innovation, and then help nurture it and make it better. The other thing is promote strategic partnerships. Not only strategic partnerships with other educational institutions, but also partnerships with the private sector, partnerships with nonprofit organizations, partnerships with municipalities and county governments, and partnerships with international organizations, with other universities around the world. How can those partnerships enhance the learning experience, the practical experience of students, and support the research agenda of the university? Universities are social agents, and we tend to be social agents for positive change. And that positive change happens because we have these partnerships outside of our own campuses. That's really the key to the future, in my view.
Thanks very much, Brian, for some thoughtful insights into innovation in higher education and into Lakehead specifically. I appreciate your time today.
Well, and thank you, Ken, for doing what you do for higher education in Ontario and in Canada. We really appreciate everything that you do for us. Thanks.
10 with Ken is a production of Eduvation Inc., copyright 2017. I'm available for conference keynotes, campus PD events, board retreats, and committee workshops, in person or now virtually too. For more information, please visit www.eduvation.guru or 10withken.com.